they do some special GSB delicacies, especially during this season.
Rainy season, we get very limited fish here. Toralis, vadas, which is very famous during this season.
What is this?
Thunder mushrooms. We call it gudgud alambe.
Oh, gudgud means thunder. Gudgud alambe. That is what, paisa?
Paisa, which is made out of jackfruit. This is something similar to nippat,
Okay.
but we pickle it for the rainy season.
So this is very spongy almost in its texture.
Yes.
You know, it doesn't have that flavor that you would typically associate with button mushrooms. The flavor, it's almost like a cloud.
Correct.
This is the pickled mackerel.
And it's very fresh, sir. They shine like that. Yeah.
The ambe goju. Was so delicious. This is like the perfect dessert to close things. Namaskara folks, this is Kripal Amanna, Gourmet on the Road, and you're watching Food Lovers TV. We are in Mangalore, and in Mangalore during the monsoons. To be honest, I don't get around to Mangalore during this time especially. The seafood isn't as available as much, and even if it is available, it's not from the shores around here but from the eastern coast of India. So I was looking for something different to taste this time, and there's a restaurant that I visited here a couple of years ago. It's called Maharaja Restaurant. I went there, I tasted some of the iconic dishes, the ghee roast, the taru butai, nippat, the hinga uda and things like that. And Mrs. Komal Prabhu, who's the chef, the restaurateur, very enterprising lady behind that restaurant, she reached out to me and told me that they do some special GSB delicacies, especially during this season. So that's what we've set out to explore, some monsoon specials at Maharaja Restaurant in Mangalore. Hello.
I'm Komal, daughter-in-law.
Oh, okay, nice. So you're Sudhindra's wife?
Yes, Anuradha.
Anuradha. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Namaskara. How are you doing?
Nice to meet you again after a long time.
Thank you very much for inviting me. And that is Mrs. Komal Prabhu, aka Chef Komal. That's what she's also popularly known as here in Kudla. So today what are we going to witness?
So generally Mangalore is famous for seasonal food. Rainy season, we get very limited fish here.
Okay.
Like the ladyfish, small bangdas and all that.
So the ladyfish, because it comes in the estuary,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
And the bangda, the small, is from where?
Near the port.
Okay.
There's port fishing happening now.
Port fishing. So you can only fish around the port. You cannot go into the deep waters.
Yes. And that's when we get muda also. Muda are fishes near the giant sea bass.
Oh, so they come near the shore.
Yes. So that's when you get the giant sea bass, which is called chanak in Goa.
Oh, chonak.
Yes.
Ah, fantastic. So when Mrs. Prabhu reached out to me and said we have some seasonal delicacies of Mangalore, I said why not? You know, every time I come to Mangalore, I'm doing the fish fries, I'm doing the ghee roast, etc. But some of the dishes that she mentioned, and I'm sure we'll see them on the table. Are we also looking at the kitchen?
You want to? They're happy. We have the toralis, vadas, which is very famous during this season.
So I think this is certainly going to be an interesting afternoon with, should I call you Chef Komal or Mrs. Prabhu?
Anything is fine, sir.
Fantastic. Let's get into Maharaja.
This is my elder son, sir.
Namaskara, Sudhindra.
Yes.
I met you the last time.
This is my younger son.
Hi, how are you?
This is my sister
Oh, okay.
and her daughter.
Namaskara. What is this?
Thunder mushrooms.
Thunder mushrooms.
We have peeled it. This is found during the thunders under the bow trees.
So this is not cultivated, it is foraged.
You don't get it in Mangalore.
So it's in
You have to
the,
go towards Karkala.
it's in the forest.
Yes. We call it gudgud alambe.
Oh, gudgud. Gudgud means thunder. Gudgud alambe. Alambe is mushroom.
Alambe is mushroom.
Oh, I love that name already. Gudgud alambe. And of course, I can smell the ghee roast already. So one of the dishes that Maharaja is very famous, very popular for is the ghee roast that is made to Chef Komal Prabhu's very special recipe, which has a lot of tamarind also. Tamarind and chilli.
Yes, that's all I put.
must watch my earlier episode on Maharaja Restaurant because we had an amazing time out here in the kitchen watching Chef Komal Prabhu bring that ghee roast together and also make that very special taru bhuta in Nippatia. So definitely take a look at the last episode too.
Today I have mangoes.
Oh!
This season these come as curry mangoes. Everybody puts masala and makes it too heavy. What we do is just squash it.
Okay.
And then just put a very simple tadka. For eating it's amazing.
Really?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Serve it cold.
So this is like very refreshing.
Ambe goju.
Ambe goju. Ambe is mango and goju is like a thick.
Yes, thick masala.
Do you add some sugar into it?
No, jaggery. Because jaggery was earlier our GSB sweetening agent. We never used sugar. Sugar was only used for shira.
That is what, paisa?
Paisa, which is made out of jackfruit.
So the jackfruit season is over in May, no?
No, sir. It prolongs till Ashada and Ati. That is why seasonal food is very important.
So what is the base for this paisa?
Coconut milk, khaskase, and a little bit of rice batter. And what we do is jaggery and good we keep for boiling. Then add this. Upar se tadka bas.
So I guess also the earthy sweetness of the jaggery gets infused by the jackfruit.
Yes.
And I'm sure the jackfruit also releases its flavors.
Exactly.
I've not gotten to the table yet, but just this first 5 minutes with Mrs. Prabhu, I'm already excited about the meal that will follow.
See, this is what I told Tora leaves.
Oh, okay.
We call it taikilo, is sprouted as the rain falls. What we do is, we do this batter. This is very famous.
And the batter is what?
Rice.
Rice.
Hing. Chilies. Urad dal. Tamarind very little.
Very little.
Sir, colocasia leaves and jackfruit seed.
Oh, that jackfruit seed is a delicacy, huh?
Now jackfruits were ripening. You can make the payasam or you can eat jackfruit just like that. But the seeds, they do into different gravies here.
And I can see some Ramna chili has also gone into that.
Amba goju.
Amba goju.
Curry leaves, mustard, urad dal and...
and what is that oil in that? Coconut oil? Coconut oil.
This is something similar to nippat.
Okay.
But we pickle it for the rainy season. You get the small bangdes.
Okay.
Similar way, oil, mustard, there's a lot of chili powder put in it. But instead of tamarind, we put vinegar. Vinegar acts like a preservative.
So this will stay for how many days?
1 week, if you keep it in the fridge, nothing happens. No problem.
Oh, I love the way this looks. So this is caught near the port, is it?
Yes. Because now they don't allow you to take the
deep sea trawlers.
One is coconut oil.
Oh, coconut oil.
And ghee.
I can already smell the coconut oil, huh? And the tuppa. That goes into making how many hundreds of kilos of ghee roast every day?
Ghee roast as well as some of the Mangalorean cuisine, I mean to the sukka and all. They need a little bit of ghee.
Both the nippat and the ghee roast are the prominent dishes that we are selling a lot in Maharaja.
So today I told the Prabhus here, I said I only want to eat your seasonal produce. I don't want to eat dishes that I will get every day of the year. I only want to get dishes that you will get in Mangalore at Maharaja Restaurant this time of the year. But tell me these dishes, if somebody comes tomorrow and...
It's against order, sir.
So they have to call you, pre-order, and then you will make these dishes.
Chef Komal Prabhu is in the Instagram page.
Okay.
So generally in Mangalore is not that big. They can connect to the phone call. And then they can, and my son is also very, very active in that. So they give an order 1 day prior, we do this.
Fantastic. So follow Chef Komal Prabhu on Instagram.
Thank you.
Well, it turns out today is also Mrs. Komal Prabhu's birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And I wish you the very best and happiness always. God bless you and may you continue to spread deliciousness through all the work that you do. Fantastic. Happy birthday.
Thank you,
happy birthday. I don't think I've ever walked into a restaurant where it's the birthday of the chef. Or at least I didn't know about it. But I wish I knew beforehand. At least I would have got some flowers. Well, we just finished our kitchen tour and we've arrived to a table that's brimming with all the delicacies that we saw being cooked in the kitchen and some more. So what do we have here?
I would recommend to start with this kokum curry and then relish the taikele ambada
The taikila ambadu, that is made with that
Dora leaves. And then this is ganteni, big and talasani.
colocasia leaves with the jackfruit
Seeds. Then we have the alambe ghee roast.
That's a good alambe.
Good
That is a
alambe.
word I will never forget. And I think in the good alambe you also have a
Amshi tikshe.
sour and spicy. So amshe is sour.
Amshi is sour and tikshe is spicy.
Fantastic. And what is this green? Is there some chilies in there?
Chilies. Good alambe is got during the evening hours.
Ah.
So, people scrape it out from the earth in the early mornings and comes to different places by evening. So
Okay.
it's peeled out and the curry is made in the night. This is dry prawns curry. Generally, we eat it with rice.
Panab curry.
Looks to be red and spicy, but actually it is not.
It's not.
Because we put a lot of onions in it. This is mango curry. This you have to eat last. Gojju.
And this is also a dish that is served cold.
Cold.
So we'll make some space for that mango
Yeah.
curry. So when I looked at all these dishes in the kitchen and the plans that she had for me to taste these, I said, well, I definitely need some reinforcement on the table. So I've requested Mrs. Prabhu to walk me through this meal as we relish it. So what should we begin with?
Alambe.
With the alambe, okay.
Yes.
What about this?
Yeah, you can start with this also, sir. This is just a bite. You can hold a bite in your left hand, eat it, then take your morsel from the right hand.
There's a bit of sourness. Is that from the leaf?
The leaves.
So is it similar to the gongura, the sour sorrel leaves? No.
No.
So this is available only in the monsoon.
Monsoons. The initial sprouts. Once they flower, no, sir, you're not supposed to eat.
Really?
Yes. It becomes bitter.
All right. Some soul curry to wash that first bite down. I think this is perfect for the Bangalore weather. Bit of the heat, bit of the huli, and also that I think that sweetness comes from the coconut milk.
Coconut milk, jeera.
Very nice.
Ganteni, big and talasani. The make of this is a little tricky. If you
Okay.
don't boil it properly, it itches.
You know what I'm also tasting in this? The flavor of the colocasia leaf, but there's also some garlic that's gone into it.
The tadka is made by garlic and
And I think that garlic complements it really well. So the jackfruit seeds have a starchiness to it.
yes. That is why it binds together.
Delicious.
Ganti means colocasia leaves. We tie it into a knot. That is called ganti.
Oh, that's delicious. I remember when I was young growing up, those days in Bombay, if you got a jackfruit, you were lucky to get a jackfruit. That seed would be treasured. My mother would make a vegetable preparation out of it. But I think these days people eat the flesh
And throw the seeds.
and throw the seed. But that seed is so tasty, right? Especially when made into a dish like this. So good. What are we tasting next?
Neer dosa and alambe.
That is the good alambe. This is the amshi tikshe curry, which is
Yes.
basically supposed to be a sour and spicy curry.
Here we maintain the medium spice, sir. In our homes, we make it a little more spicy.
So this spice is a little gentler.
When you taste that alambe, you'll realize there's a different taste.
It's very tender, almost juicy.
Or very juicy.
You know, also what's nice is that the curry is very hot. So this is very spongy almost in its
Yes.
texture.
Yes.
You know, it doesn't have that flavor that you would typically associate with button mushrooms. The flavor, it's almost like a cloud
Correct.
that bursts in your mouth. You place it in your mouth, just the very first bite, that almost dissolves away like a bit of a souffle,
Exactly.
like a cloud pudding. That's how delicate that good alambe is.
Try with a little of ghee roast also, sir.
Well, that's delicious.
Neer dosa with ghee roast also goes well.
Now some of that good alambe, but this time in a ghee roast masala. That very famous Maharaja ghee roast masala. You know, it's interesting. I was a little worried that the ghee roast masala, because it is so powerful, it would take over that good alambe completely. Because in that curry, the good alambe was like a cloud just waiting to burst. But out here, that alambe has somehow made friends with that ghee roast masala, and it is holding itself,
Exactly.
right? So I guess out here you also, because you fry it, So kind of also takes away some of the moisture of that
Moisture
alambe.
yeah, yeah.
And
It
therefore,
becomes a little harder.
little harder. And because it's harder, therefore it can withstand the furious, flavorful onslaught of that ghee roast masala. These dishes that we are tasting now, I've never tasted before in Mangalore. So were these in home kitchens earlier and now you're bringing this out, or?
Yes, this alambe, which is very seasonal and very expensive to bring into the restaurant. So these many years I used to do. Past last year I'm not doing because it's gone over thousands.
1,000 rupees a kilo?
The other day we paid 1,400
For a kilo of this mushroom?
Of this, yes.
And this is again only in the June, July?
Not June, July, just 15 days.
Only 15 days?
Only 15 days.
So
That
the
is
first 4 rains?
First 4, 5, 6 rains.
By the time you watch this video, the good alambes have gone. You have to wait for the good next year to get these alambes. But if at all you happen to be watching this video somewhere in the May kind of month, make your appointment with Mrs. Komal Prabhu and ask her to get you some of that good alambe. You can't let go of that ghee roast. That's a problem with a good ghee roast. Once you get the first scoop, you want the second, the third and the fourth scoop. Really fascinating how that good alambe behaves so differently in that amshe tikshe and in the ghee roast. Delicious.
This is salla of curry. We used to not get vegetables in the earlier days.
Okay.
So what our grannies did is pickled such, jackfruit just
Thank
before
you.
ripening. It's very simple to be cooked. See how I told you the talasani, similarly, this is just chopped, put little chili powder, tadka with mustard. It's the cuttle,
Oh, it's a raw jackfruit.
raw jackfruit.
So I can definitely taste the salt, the chili,
Yes,
a little bit of the mustard seeds that comes into
Yeah.
it. So this is the pickle.
pickled jackfruit.
So I guess this also has very good fiber.
Exactly.
So instead of a vegetable, you would have, let's say, some rice, some dal
Yes.
along with this.
So we Mangaloreans are very, very keen about eating boiled rice.
Thank you. So this is the padna upkari.
Dry prawns padna curry. Onions are fried.
Huh.
Put chili powder, tamarind gravy to tame down the chili powder.
Yes.
And then put the dry prawns. And we have the karne curry here, sir.
Oh, that's the kane. So kane is again very popular during the
rainy season.
The rainy season. So basically the kane is caught at the estuaries, right? Where
Correct.
the river meets the sea. And I guess in this season, when there is no deep sea trawling allowed, people still want to enjoy their fish. So I guess it's the fish from around the port or from the estuaries.
Yes. So generally we eat like this.
Ah.
And then finally, as you end the lunch, we take dali tove.
Before I get to the dali tove, I've got plenty to taste. So I noticed that you're also tasting the fanna upkari
Yes.
with the, what do you call the red rice in Konkani?
Ukdi sheet.
Ukde sheath, correct. So in fact that tender jackfruit almost mimics the texture of cabbage to a certain extent. The flavors are very simple. Salt, it's a little bit of the chili hit and a little bit of the gourmet.
This is the pickled bangda.
Oh, that's a pickled mackerel. This is a baby mackerel.
Yeah. It's often got in the rainy season and it's very fresh, sir. Very fresh means they shine like that.
Yeah. I think I'm going to make a start now with that kane. This is like a ale piao.
Yeah.
So ale piao is basically the onion and the
Ginger, onions and chilies we just put at boiling point into the masala.
The flavor of the ginger, that gets you right away. Khane always has a certain flavor to it, right? A bit of sweetness somewhere,
Yes.
a bit of the salinity.
Kane is something that you should go for tawa fry or alle piyavashi.
So these are recipes that you grew up with.
Not exactly. I was married into a very conservative family where this was the tradition that they had followed. They've come from a very small village where all this was very, very important for them. They never ate vegetables from out also.
So it's whatever that came from the land around.
Exactly. So this amba goju, in the evening when they come, once it starts raining,
Mangoes.
the mangoes fall.
Ah,
So what we do is amba goju and pulka for the night.
wow.
So the fresh eating.
So, in a manner of speaking, nature is dictating what you should be eating.
Correct.
Not just in terms of the seasonality of the ingredients, but also to the extent that in the evening, the mango tree sheds some mango as if almost giving you a cue. Well, today is time to eat the ambe upkari. Go and make yourself some chapati. Relish that with the ambe upkari. Oh, this is delicious.
Totally, I have learned cooking from my husband's family.
Yeah. So these were the sort of dishes that you would.
All dishes, sir. Coming from a place like Bantwal, where there were no hotels and other things, our house was the place where people landed to eat food and all that. A lot of people have come to our house, and it was a steep curve of learning. But yes, we had to do.
And that then became the genesis for this restaurant.
Exactly, sir. That was the blessing that my in-laws gave me.
Well, and today, Mrs. Komal Prabhu, from feeding guests in Bantwal, is feeding all of Mangalore at Maharaja, which is now what, 22, 23 years old?
23rd year running.
23rd year running. I think on that note, I am going to switch gears to that dry prawns panna upkari. So,
They're roasted and then boiled in water, and then we make it into curry. If it's the dry prawns chutney, what we do is we roast it and we roll it in a paper and keep it, and then make chutney, onions, and that we mix together.
There's a slight bitterness in that masala. What is that?
The prawns give that bitterness.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And why is that? Because it's dried.
No. It has an aftertaste. That always dry fish has an aftertaste because it has been mixed with salt and dried up.
Because in the monsoon they can go out to the sea to procure the sea prawns. So therefore, this is like a way of making do with it.
Generally, at home we put coconut, grated coconut to remove that bitterness, sir.
Just when you have that slight bit of bitterness, if you have a little bit of the fleshiness of the coconut that meets your palate,
Correct.
that sweetness of the coconut would offset that. Somehow within me, I think that Mangalorean gene somehow craved a bit of sweetness, and as Mrs. Prabhu rightly pointed out, a garnish of some freshly grated coconut would just seal the deal for that dry prawns panna upkari.
Sir, one dash of this.
One dash of the dali towe. Oh, that's hot. That's hot and warming.
This is how we GSPs relish food. Something called sarup curry. All different types of pulses. We boil them. We put some 3-4 green chilies and then give a tadka of lasan and gol mirch. So that is replaced by dali towe. So we do different types of sarup curries or anything one veg, how much ever non-veg you have.
So this is what seals the deal.
Yes.
At the end of it all.
Yes.
But I don't think we've arrived at the end yet because we
have 2 more things too.
No, but I haven't tasted the mackerel yet. This is the pickled mackerel.
Yes.
The baby mackerel.
Generally, more than the restaurant, sir, we make it at home. Those bangdas have to be cooked in a very small flame. The masala has to take it. We close it. Again, evening we cook it well and then we put it in a box.
In this bangda pickle, I am not really tasting the character of the bangda so much, but it's almost as if that masala, through that process of slow poaching, has replaced every strand of that bangude with its spice. There's only a slight hint of bangude's effusive oily flavor that tells you it's mackerel, but other than that, that masala has gone into every strand of that fish.
Exactly.
This is ukde the rice, and this bangude curry with that dry prawn panna curry. These are also the sort of foods that you could probably travel with, right? Just have a bit of rice, just have one piece of that bangude. This is all that you need.
You parcel it home. You can eat it the whole meal through the day.
Through the day.
One parcel can keep it, even those bangdas, you can keep it for 3-4 days. Nothing will happen.
Delicious.
This dry prawns panna curry becomes better and better as day by day because the onion leaves its flavors.
I want to make sure that I get every shred of that bangude with the ukde shet, with the boiled rice. I was telling my viewers in the car that I'm never in Mangalore during the monsoons. So I was trying to figure out, okay, fine, what do I taste? I don't want to taste seafood which has come from some other coast.
Correct.
And that's when I remembered your invitation to taste some of these seasonal delicacies.
It is shark,
And what do you call this?
mori.
Very dense, very salty because it's been cured. But I think again this with some rice
Exactly.
on the side.
Ganji.
With some ganji, that's right.
Exactly. You powder this with the ganji and then eat it. Today it has not been soaked well. So over the night if we soak, we just put chili powder and garlic.
So it's quite fibrous in its
Yeah.
texture. And it has soaked that salt to its inner core. But again, when you taste these, you got to remember that you're talking about foods that is prepared in a manner that suits a purpose.
This we roast it well and do kismoor out of it. We powder it and put onions and coconut, little chili powder and make it into kismoor.
And I think the shark is also a very dense in its flesh.
Flesh.
So it's also able to withstand the process of pickling so much more.
The goju.
The ambe goju. What is that? Lentils?
Urad dal.
Urad dal. Ah.
There should be a lot of flesh,
A lot of flesh and a lot of those fibers.
fibers.
Because that almost functions as some sort of a mop. It is absolutely delicious. I've got fibers of the mango stuck between my teeth and I'm almost embarrassed to be speaking to the camera, but that's part of the experience. As you mop that mango in that goju and carrying with it the flavors of the goju, the tempered urad dal and the curry leaf, etc., the fibers also carry to your teeth. But so delicious. This is like the perfect dessert to close things. When you're eating this ambe goju, that gorotu is your best friend. So good. Delicious.
So people are not aware about all this that is prepared here. I think if people are aware, people would order and we would make, because generally now mangoes are available till August.
You know what I feel is that many food cultures in the fast-paced world that we live in, unfortunately, die out. But I'm so grateful that we have people like Mrs. Prabhu, who has decided that she's going to carry on these traditions. The fact that you have it indicates that you want to keep this tradition alive. And I think
Exactly.
that is
Even
what,
one person orders it,
Huh.
I make it a point I cook and give. Traditions are so treasured that, see, very simple things we can make such beautiful food.
That's right. You know, that's the other thing about this food, right? Everything that we've eaten here is so simple.
Now you agree?
Yeah.
Chilies. Tamarind.
Right. So it's only chilies, tamarind and something-
Coconut.
Coconut. On a serious note, all the dishes that we've seen here are very simple in terms of the main ingredient that's used and also in the manner that it comes together, right? We're going to taste next the
Garai. This
Oh.
jackfruit, this is called garai.
gharai.
Garo,
Huh.
garai.
That gharai with the jackfruit. So there's some rice flour in this.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
little.
And the base is the coconut milk. So the texture of the jackfruit in this is almost the sort that mimics a soft halwa. Right? And I think that's also aided by the rice flour that goes into it. And then you've got the creaminess of the coconut milk. And somewhere in there, the flavor of the tuppa that comes to you courtesy the godambi that's been roasted in a generous dollop of ghee. Very good. Excellent. Is there also some gasgase that goes into this? I can taste somewhere a bit of the nuttiness of the gasgase.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think this is also the sort of fitting end to a meal, to a GSB meal that will guarantee you a good nap.
Exactly.
What do you call?
This is like, we call in Konkani, it's a tranquilizer, after your big meal.
And what do you call sleeping in Konkani?
Niddoche.
So after this, some niddoche. Delicious. Thank you so much. Mrs. Prabhu,
Thank
Chef
you for
Komal.
coming, sir. We are proud and we are happy because we've seen food lovers, a lot of bloggers, food lovers. But when you come, you become our inspiration to even work harder and make people understand that food is very important. And I'm also into workshops to teach the students how to, cook their food when they're abroad, when they're out. I do a lot of things, but somewhere deep in my heart, I feel that children or our next generation has to learn simple eating is best.
Fantastic.
That's where the chilies, tamarind
Comes into play. And
Yeah.
well, that's the context with which I met Mrs. Prabhu the first time around, over 2 years ago. But I'm so happy since then to actually sit on this table with her and savor this vast range of GSB delicacies, the culture of Mangalore that she seeks to propagate through the culinary influences of the land. Thank you very much for inviting me. I wish you all the very best in the work that you do. And if you want to savor the flavors of Mangalore, seasonal or otherwise, definitely find your way to Maharaja Restaurant. If you're lucky, you will meet Chef Prabhu
Yes.
and learn so much more about the food like I just did. I hope you've enjoyed this very special episode of Gourmet on the Road here at Maharaja Restaurant with Chef Komal Prabhu on her birthday too.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Until the next time, take care, stay safe, stay strong, and happy eating. If you'd like to support the work that we do at Food Lovers TV, do consider joining our membership community on YouTube by hitting the join button below or on the home page and receive special privileges like behind the scenes footage, shoot updates, access to live Q&As and a lot more. You could support us on our Patreon page as well. For more info, check out the links in the description below. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, share and leave a comment below. Happy eating.